Welcome to Grown in Michigan with Julie Alexander. Did you know that field corn is one of Michigan's most abundant crops? Here in Michigan, we raise over 300 million bushels of corn every year. Please join me. Let's learn more about our corn industry.
I sure could use a slice of that front porch swinging kind of life.
When you hear the word agriculture, what comes to mind? Chances are, you think of farms that raise food, maybe the livestock farms that produce beef, pork, or chicken, or maybe the farms that raise fruits, vegetables, and other plants for eating. Of course, agriculture also grows crops that aren't used for our meals. Today, we'll learn how the field corn grown in Michigan is used to fuel our vehicles and our economy. I joined State Representative Phil Green in Cairo to visit Poet Bioprocessing, where I learned about the corn raised and the ethanol produced here in Michigan.
Today I'm excited to be in Cairo, Michigan, here in the thumb of Michigan, to learn more about the corn industry. In addition to learning more about the corn industry here with Representative Phil Green, thank you again for having me to your district. You know, we've been talking a lot about the important impact agriculture has here in the thumb area and here in your district. What can you tell me in that regard?
Well, the thumb is affectionately known as the breadbasket of the state, and we are very ag intensive. We have from dairy to corn, soybeans, industrial hemp, wheat, and we are very diverse with producers as well as processors. And talking with some of our processors, we ship some of our products overseas. We have international markets here, as well as a growing organic market. So the thumb is truly the breadbasket of the state, and it is exciting to have you as the ag chair here to tour our place.
Thank you. And I think the other piece that's important, as you mentioned, it's about the processing also, right? So as farmers are growing their crops, these commodities are there. In short of rather just being on the road or rail, truck, however they might, get to where they need to be, it's important to have processing close by. It's just better all around.
Right.
But it provides a significant economic impact to local communities. Can you tell me about the impact processing plays in your community here?
Well, the impact processing plays is huge because now you have a farmer who produces, let's say in this instance, corn. They're able to sell their commodity locally to the Poet Biorefining. Poet Biorefining then creates a product of ethanol, but then also creates the co-product of the feed that the farmer uses, and then the farmer buys that product back. So everything stays local. The shipping costs are lower, thus the farmers can get more for their commodity. And it is a neat life cycle of that crop that it starts in the thumb, it's produced in the thumb, processed in the thumb, and then fed back into the whole system.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture reports that over 2 million acres of corn were planted in Michigan in 2020. The sweet corn that we eat comprises only a very tiny fraction of American corn harvest. According to the Corn Marketing Program of Michigan and the Michigan Corn Growers Association, in 2019, approximately 335 million bushels of corn were grown here in our state. For the top 3 uses of that crop yield, it is estimated that about 120 million bushels of corn grown in our state went to ethanol production. About 87 million bushels were used for animal feed, and about 70 million bushels were exported out of state.
Angel, you have a really important job. I'm with Angel today. She's with the Michigan Corn Growers. You're the communications person. So first of all, I've got to comment on this awesome van.
Yeah.
Can't miss you, can we?
No, it's a really great marketing tool for us. We like to take it especially when we're talking to the public or children. You can see our mascot here. He's Captain Cornelius, and he helps us advocate for the corn industry across the state.
Excellent. So tell us about Michigan corn farmers. How many are there? How many acres? Tell us about the importance of the role they play in our state.
Sure. We have about 14,000 corn farmers across the state of Michigan. And actually, we're here at an ethanol plant today, which is really important to us because about 35% of that corn is going to go into an ethanol plant. It's a huge part of the market for our corn growers, and it's something that's really important to us.
All right, so about 35% of the Michigan corn grown, again, field corn, is going for ethanol. Where's the rest of the corn go?
Sure, a lot of that goes into livestock, and then whatever is left over gets exported out of the state.
So what are some of the misconceptions people have about corn, or what are some of the bigger challenges farmers have growing corn?
Yeah, one of the misconceptions people have, especially when we talk about ethanol, is they think that the corn that's going into the ethanol plant is the kind of corn that you would eat. And it's not. There's two kinds of corn that we grow. There's sweet corn, that's the corn on the cob that you would generally eat at your table. But the majority of what we grow in Michigan is field corn. And so that's the kind of corn that goes to feed animals, and it goes into our ethanol plant. So we're not taking corn off of people's tables when we make ethanol. Another misconception that people have is about the practices that farmers use. A lot of people are really far removed from the farm, and so they don't understand how people are farming and the stewardship practices and the pride that farmers really take in their products. We have continued to grow yields every year on the same amount of land, and each year we've also reduced the number of inputs, so the amount of chemicals and fertilizers and things that we need to grow those bushels of corn. So it's something that farmers take a lot of pride in. It continues to get more efficient, and stewardship is always at the top of mind for them.
Poet Bioprocessing was founded in 1980s and now has dozens of facilities across the Midwest. Each year, Poet's Caro facility processes about 18 million bushels of locally grown field corn with an output of approximately 53 million gallons of ethanol.
I'm excited today to be here with Emily from Poet here in Caro, Michigan. We've been talking today about the important service they provide for our farmers of Michigan. Michigan farmers from all around the state drive here to Caro, Michigan with their corn. But what happens next is the most exciting part. Emily, would you please share with us?
Oh, absolutely. What we do is we bring in the corn, we test it for its specifications to make sure it's number 2 yellow corn. And then we mill it up, we send it over into our process, and we add yeast and some other ingredients to it, and we ferment it for about 3 days. And then after it's fermented, we boil it until you get ethanol off of it. And then we take all the solids, we run them through a centrifuge, and we separate out solids and water again, and then we condense down the water again, we apply that to our drying facilities, and then make animal feed out of everything else.
Okay. And why would someone want that ethanol product in to fill their tank?
Well, it's better in your greenhouse gas out of your tailpipe, so it causes reduction in greenhouse gas usage, and it's just cheaper. It's cheaper for the consumer, so if you want a couple of cents in your pocket, that's what you want to fill up with.
And why is it important for farmers? Why is your plant here a good thing for our agriculture community?
Well, when we first started here in 2002, corn sold for about $2.20 a bushel, and now it's completely self-sustainable, and it's selling for $6 and $7 a bushel this year right now. So it's improved the local agricultural community as well as improved the tailpipe emissions in our gas.
I hope you've gleaned at least a kernel of truth today about the corn grown in Michigan. You may not want to eat any field corn on the cob, but you probably do have some ethanol made from field corn in your car's gas tank. And if you do enjoy meat or dairy, it may come courtesy of the field corn used as livestock feed. Thanks for watching and learning with me. Do you have a story to tell? If you or someone you know has an untold agricultural story here in Michigan, I want to hear about it. You can reach out to me at juliealexander@house.mi.gov.